Disruptions, let me tell you, our beloved rugby league community finally gets a chance to check out some of the more experienced female league players from across Aotearoa. We have a feast of league in store for you this afternoon at the Trust Team. Later today, the 20s action will heat up at Waitakere, but first up, Wahine Toa, as we count down to the NZRL Sky Sport Women's Premiership. Kiwi Fern, Jules Newman, joining me in commentary this afternoon. Jules, no longer donning the jersey and the shoes today. You've picked up something different. It's called a microphone and a headset. Are you looking for action, and what can you expect?
Yes, I'm not sure whether I prefer the boots, to be honest, but I am really looking forward to finally seeing some footy kick off here in Aotearoa today.
Yeah, in terms of preparation for some of these players, they have not had a lot of prep time. It's been really disrupted, and there'll be a few surprises out there in terms of organising their skills and getting ready. They'll be challenged.
Yeah, 100%. Like, with the fact that we all know how much of an impact COVID has had on the country across the board. So I think what we'll find today is maybe some early fatigue, but the girls have put in some hard work, all 4 teams in the competition. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they produce today.
Great to see Canterbury in town. They've flown in this morning. I think they might be flying out, and they've got a pretty decent lineup.
Oh yes, we have, looking at the national comp, we've got, starting with Canterbury, Napa out at fullback, McPherson, Siatanga in the halves. Baker might be one to look out for at second row. She's represented Canterbury since 2007. In the forwards, we have Anderson and Loto Toyono at their starting props. And last but not least, their captain, Power Racer, legend of the game. And she's represented not only Manusina, but Fitu Samoa and a former NRLW player. I expect to see some great things from her today, and their head coach is Te Iwingaroa Wairo.
See how difficult it has been preparing for the season. Yeah, it was pretty difficult. We've had a few cases, and then some injuries, and then some people that can't actually commit to this time of year.
How keen are the players to get out and finally play some footy?
Well, yeah, because we've been training for quite a while, so they're actually really keen to get out there and just see how we go.
And what brand of footy are we going to see from your side?
Just a bit of fast footy. Hopefully, our flanks start doing the job probably today, and then trying to get the punch up the middle. Well, always. Yeah.
Well, all the best this afternoon.
Okay, thank you.
Canterbury in town for a purpose. They will be up against the Stingrays, Counties Manukau, and they've got a decent lineup as well, Jules.
Yeah, as we can see, Counties minus a few key names due to NRLW. That saying, we have the experience of Carney, Kiwi Fern, former NRLW player in fullback, Tautare in the halves alongside Roach, who will be making her debut today. Second row, leading in from the front as always, and captaining the ladies today is my pet, another legend of the game, even a better human being on and off the field. In the forwards, we have the likes of Matu at prop. She's represented the Māori Ferns, and her natural ball playing ability, strength and power will be an absolute force to be reckoned with today. Accompanied with the return of Fotu Moala, Kiwi Fern, World Cups 9s champion and former NRLW player. Huge experience across the pitch today, and their head coach, Greg Owen.
Working hard since about 2 weeks before Christmas, and 14 weeks of working hard has got us to where we are today, so hopefully we're looking a bit sharp today.
What are you hoping to see from your side?
I think it's important for us to start well. I also think it's important for us to engage them physically through that middle third of the field, and then hopefully we can play off the back of that a little bit.
Looking at the history of the comp, I think your side's probably favoured. Would you see it like that?
I would say we're favoured. Canterbury coming off the back of winning last year.
There we are, Greg Selwyn, with some insight as to what is happening with his side as we welcome out the Counties Manukau team in preparation for their Kiwis clash. It's going to be fantastic between these women in the Premiership. They've been waiting a long time for this day. So many players not able to play though, Jules, but we are welcoming some raw new talent, which is exciting for rugby league.
Yeah, it really is. Like, the fact is that yes, we may not have the squad that we're used to, but in saying that, this allows the newer players and the younger generation to come through and step up to showcase what they're capable of.
Because let's be honest, it's impossible replacing some of those players that have gone over Australia for the NRLW. They're irreplaceable. What do? Do you start a whole new style of rugby league?
No, I think you just build up from what they have available to them, and these younger players, they don't just jump into the game. They'll be around these players for quite some time. So I think we need to give them a bit more responsibility and let them shine a little bit today.
Okay, so talking about the man with the whistle, Greg Selwyn, he was the coach before, but David Miller is the referee. Maxine Godney and also Brent Newton will be the touchies. We will have Counties Manukau running on your screens from right to left in the red and white jerseys. Receiving the ball will be Canterbury on a breezy afternoon at Waitakere in Tamaki, Makaurau. We are underway. This is the NZRL. Oh, and a mistake first up. That's the sort of thing you don't want to see in the opening seconds of a match. And we want an error-free game of football. Not going to be the case initially. Not a great start, Jules, let's be honest.
No, but it's a good positive for Counties. They would want to start on the front foot quickly and be quite dominant. So it'll be, let's see what they can do here.
Yeah, Greg Selwyn spoke before, the coach of Counties, saying that he will play percentage footy and he'll make the most of from the opposition. There's an opportunity to do that now, just 20 metres out with the ball in hand. A few seconds into this Sky Sport Women's Premiership clash. Bring it through nice and strong and hard. Looking from Canterbury to bring on some decent defence. They'll do that nicely, willing just to play it one up at the moment. Protecting the ball is Counties. They've dominated this competition in the past and will be hoping to do the same here this afternoon in Auckland. An opportunity here if they play the ball nice and quick. Bit of urgency is what they need to go out to the right. Charging over the line, looking to cross first, looking for pulls. We'll see what the referee said. No, you attacked first before you got the line down. That was things looking pretty nice and decent there from Keri Matua with the ball in hand. She certainly likes to run with the ball, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does. And as you can see, Counties, they're quite strong up the middle. So I reckon that they'll keep looking towards Matua and Fotumoala to get them some good yardage.
So they've made their intentions known, has Counties Manukau. They know what they want to do with the ball, but an opportunity here for Canterbury to go the ball out wide and see if they can expose some weaknesses in this Counties defence. Nice little step there from Arona. Likes to keep the ball in hand and make a difference with play. There is the captain playing the ball, Pawareisa. Looking for some opportunities out wide and maybe looking for a mistake from the opposition in terms of defence. Looking neat at the moment is Canterbury. She's a magnificent player, isn't she? She's so hungry for the ball all the time.
All the time. She's always fit. And I think just the experience and leadership she brings to the Canterbury side will be invaluable.
So Canterbury on your screens in this Women's Premiership clash, running from left to right in the black shorts. They decide to kick with a couple of tackle go, but that strong breeze here at Waitakere giving them no opportunity there and lacking some attacking flair on the kick with the ball going out on the full. It was the last tackle. It won't be a scrum, it'll be a complete play the ball, giving an opportunity for Counties to attack just a few minutes into this game. So this is the Sky Sport Women's Premiership, Rugby League in its finest form. We've missed out on it for the last couple of years. Counties have been dominant of this competition. We do have the National Premiership combined over a 3-week round-robin tournament, culminating with a final on Saturday the 16th, Easter Saturday. Great opportunity for women in rugby league in Aotearoa to showcase their talents. Counties with the ball in hand. Who will they go to and where will they go? Heading to the middle. That's where they're looking strong. That was Maipi, the captain, with a nice ball on the inside. Quick play the ball from Counties. Using the right edge nice and early, drawing defenders, going out wide. They've got some pace out there. Very, very good defence from Michaela Werehiko, the number 2 from Canterbury. Keeping the ball alive is Counties. I'm liking how Canterbury worked hard to move up on the line and get that ball back. Defensively, it's been outstanding from Canterbury so far. They have been under the pump on the line game.
Yeah, they have. They've held counties out, which is really good, especially on the try line. Like, I'm really surprised at how well they're doing on defence.
Counties having to work hard defensively at the moment, wanting to keep Canterbury within that 20-metre mark, and they're managing to do so. Impressive start from some of their defenders. Beautiful afternoon for rugby league. It is breezy. There is a westerly coming through at about 30 kilometres an hour here in Waitakere in Tamaki Mako, but the skies are nice and clear. There's no rain. That'll be the sixth tackle. So another mistake there, not being able to get the ball away for a kick. Might have been Micah Newman, I think, from Canterbury that went down with that final ball. Great opportunity here for Counties.
Yeah, it is. Like, this will be, they've got a good open on the left-hand side. It'll be interesting to see what Abby Roach can do when she gets the opportunity.
Really keen to target that right-hand attacking side. Whether or not they think Canterbury's a little weak defensively down the left edge will be answered pretty soon. Wanting to keep the ball in hand, still early in the tackle count, charging through, right under the posts. That's where you want to score it. That's when you want to say, we're going to win this game. Great stuff from Counties, and who else could score that but Keri Matua?
Yeah, Keri, she's such a strong and powerful player. Any time that she has in hand, you know, you never know what she's going to be able to create, and she just went straight up the middle. Yeah,
she's a digger operator, the 22-year-old. Plays for the Manurewa Marlins, one of many in this squad. She loves a touch and also her tag and her netball, but she says in her spare time she likes to go fishing and diving. I don't know where she finds any spare time after all of that, to be honest. She's a very strong player. Is focused on the off-season to try and help with her conditioning to make sure that she can make an impact throughout this competition, and she certainly did that nice and early, Jules.
Yeah, and I think because normally Keri's been out in the centre, is well known for being a strong, dominant player out there. Now they've moved her into the prop, so she's going to be an elusive watch out for.
She's also an experienced player at just 22 years of age. 6 debutantes for the Stingrays, Counties Manukau, playing throughout this game here this afternoon. Even though Kerehetina Matu is just 22 years of age, she comes with experience, and some of those younger players will be looking forward to seeing how she leads the way and see how she goes with putting an extra 2 points up for Counties. Flags go up, cracks it. 6-0 to Counties Manukau over Canterbury in this NZRL Sky Sport Women's Premiership. Early days in the competition, but on the back of some impressive defence and making the most of some errors from Canterbury, the Stingrays have put the marker down and let us all know what they're trying to achieve this afternoon.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to seeing Canterbury open up. They've got some speedsters out on the edges, so let's see if they can get some clean ball so that an open space.
Kicking off on your screens from left to right is Canterbury in the black shorts. They're up against Counties Manukau in this women's premiership competition. Oh, managed to bring it in lovely. Great stuff, and a counter-attack of sorts from Counties. That was remarkable. I know it's not the World Cup cricket, but it was certainly a slip catch. I was very impressed with that. Well done, Counties.
Anessa Biddle, she's a really, really talented player. You know, she comes from Pakuranga, and she's also in the Kiwi Ferns wider training squad, but just, you know, you would never want to get caught flat-footed with this one.
Also, she's the only Pakuranga player here for Counties in terms of representation from that district, so she wouldn't have wanted to drop that one and cop some flack from some of the girls that she plays again in the domestic competition. So Counties with the ball in hand, an opportunity to move forward.
Yeah, they seem to really be dominating that right side.
I'm liking the quick play the ball from Counties as well. They look like a very well-drilled side. We spoke to Greg Selwyn, the coach of the side, earlier, and he said that they're focused heavily on making sure that their fitness and conditioning is right. So that might be something which they'll draw as this game continues. So Counties looking to add more points on the board. Canterbury having to work very hard in defence, Jules, and that takes it out of you.
Yeah, it does. And it's not even the first 20 minutes. Like, I'm expecting to see a bit of fatigue given that it's the first game for the season. But no doubt, I'm actually really, really impressed with Canterbury's play today.
It's been a disruptive season for all the teams in this competition. The Sky Women's Premiership will be played over 3 weekends, culminating with a final match. They play each other all in a round-robin competition once, including the Vipers and Akarana, who will be playing in this competition tomorrow. Canterbury with the ball in hand and really struggling getting the ball out of their 20-metre line. What they don't want to do is have to leave it all up to their captain, Sui Pawaresa. That would not be fair. I know that she's very hungry for the ball.
Yes,
someone else has to take control.
As we can see, Canterbury are doing just one-up runs. It would be nice to see if they just had some support runners to pop the ball to.
Let's see where those support runners are. No, they've opted to go with the kick. That is Cassie Siatanga, who's decided to kick the ball. This time it did not go out on the full. Nice, decent kick from the number 7 from Canterbury. They'll bring the ball out to play. Cassie Siatanga is also a White Sock, plays for the New Zealand softball team. She's got a decent boot on her with the ball. At the moment, it is Counties Manukau running from right to left on your screen. Nice one-out play coming from Kelly Marie Alexander, showing off her touch skills. Got plenty of experience with that. Pahukani deciding to relieve the pressure from the forwards to bring the ball up. Nice simple stuff from Counties at the moment. Maybe looking to expose some weakness in this Canterbury defence, which will be showing some fatigue. They seem to be doing a lot of tackling in the early stages of this game. Beautiful cutout pass. Looking to go wide, keeping the ball alive is Counties. 1, 2, 3 defenders trying to keep them up. That was ambitious stuff from Counties, and it looked great rugby league at the moment. Ball in hand Counties. The left foot goes up from Tautari. Canterbury with the ball, looking to counter-attack. Nice tack there from Michaela Werahiko. They need to work hard to get the ball out. They need to make some yards, does Canterbury. They can't play this game in their own quarter. Maybe 1 or 2 away from the ruck, like you suggested, Jules, is what they're opting to do. At the moment, that defence from Counties Manukau is staunch and standing tall. Smothering defence from Counties. Looking for a quick play the ball is Canterbury in the black shorts. Nice little step and jig, finding a way through. Not too many holes, not too many gaps. Counties' turn to defend this time. What can Canterbury do with the ball as they attack the left edge? Smothering, great steal. That was Jonsel Tautari, the New Zealand Māori All-Stars player and also a touch representative. She said, if you've got the ball, I'll take it off you.
Yeah, she is one of those players.
It was a little cheesy, sneaky move, wasn't it? Just to take the ball off the opposition. So the referee didn't like that. In charge of proceedings is David Miller. Not wanting to take the kick. They don't want to get the 2 points. This is an air of confidence from Counties, looking to strike with a try. Lovely inside ball to Amber Jessikani. The line was spectacular. She's got so much pace, and the no-look pass on the inside was very, very good.
I expected nothing less from Amber. She's always one of those players that is always sneaking around the ruck, sneaking off the side of players just so that she can hit those gaps, and obviously it always seems to be paying off for her. She's well known for popping out of nowhere.
She's also an ultra versatile player. I know they've got her in the number 1 jersey here this afternoon, but she can play in the halves. She can play at hooker if that's where they need her.
Yeah, she can play in the wing. She can play centre. And you can stick her anywhere and she'll give it a go.
Yeah, it was a lovely ball. I think that might have been Abigail Roach that passed it to her on the inside. They've opted to go with a different goal kicker this time, Counties, sharing the load and the love. Karahitina Matua might have thought, I'll kick my own goals when I score a try, but outside of that, we'll leave it to Johnsel Totari, who's got plenty of touch experience. I was talking to Greg Selwyn, actually, in terms of some of the debutants, and he said we've got a lot of touch players in our lineup, but it's been working for them because they're fit, they're agile, they're light-footed, and they bring a new breed of game. Let's see if they can add 2 more points to the tally. Off the left foot boot, difficult kick, and the flags go up. That was outstanding. Very impressive stuff. Another 2 points for Counties Manukau in this NZRL Sky Sport Women's Premiership. Nice stuff from Totari. She wasn't perturbed at all by the angle or by the 30-kilometre breeze coming over at Waitakere.
No, she made it look so easy.
You're a kicker, aren't you, Jules?
Oh, I dabble here and there, but I wouldn't identify myself as a goal kicker.
Especially in these conditions. You are watching the NZRL Sky Sport Women's Premiership. Missed out on the last couple of seasons due to the coronavirus with disruptions and cancellations, but showcasing themselves some of the best women's rugby league players in Aotearoa. Counties running from right to left, leading the way by 12-0. And you'd love to say that that was a planned kick from Canterbury, but I think the breeze just picked up as the ball bounced, and the wind really is playing havoc on the ball receivers.
Yeah, it is, unfortunately. But at the same time, it wouldn't be good footy. They didn't have some disruptions in the game. But in saying that, let's hope that Canterbury can capitalise on where they are right now.
Here's a great opportunity for Canterbury. First time attacking within their attacking 20 line. They get the ball. No doubt that it's their skipper that decides to take it up first and foremost. Leading the way is Sui Pawaresa. Quick play the ball. A late call up for Sophie Anderson in 21. Unfortunately, Bunty Crow was not able to play for Canterbury. She tested positive within 12 hours of hopping on the plane, and she was going to be their go-to player. That now might have to be Sophie Anderson. Dummy right, no way through the middle. Good defence from Counties.
Yeah, I'm interested to see why they're not spreading the ball to the edge.
That defence is very good from Counties Manukau with the white stripes. Not 1, 2, but 3 players deciding to come in and smother up the ball, making Canterbury make some decisions. One off play at the moment for Canterbury. Nice run from Powell. That is Sai Powell, one of the key players. Decide to go on the 4th tackle with no one's out there. Be interesting to see if they're onside. Great attacking. Ball kept alive. Will have to dive over the line. Great stuff from Gloria Sua. Very nice kick from Canterbury. Kept the Counties Manukau there. They're thinking, what's going to happen? And they went with the kick. No offside call.
Yeah, how good was that cross kick, though? Not many people can pull that off. And with the wind the way that it is, and they managed to pull it off.
Get to have another look at it. Well done, Michaela Werehiko. Not only brought it in, but found Gloria Sua in fantastic support. That's what we wanted to see from Canterbury. That's why they flew in from the South Island just a couple of hours ago to Tamaki Makaurau to challenge one of the favoured teams in this competition. Great rugby league all round, and hope to see that from Canterbury. Here's a challenge for visiting Southerners. Having to add another 2 more points on the board is Cassie Siatanga. Represented Whetu Samoa in 2020, one of the Woolston Ram players. A lot of pressure on her this afternoon, not just to be the key playmaker, but also to be the goal kicker. Now, this would be difficult at any stage, let alone in these conditions. A very strong wind here this afternoon at Waitakere. Not enough boot on it. Good direction, but not enough boot on it. So just past halfway in this first half of the NZRL Women's Premiership. Counties Manukau leading Canterbury 12-4, 35 minute halves in this competition, and a spring in the step now from Canterbury, just what they needed. Perfect opportunity for them. The defence was very good from Counties.
Yeah, expect nothing less from Counties. They're such a strong defensive team. So for Canterbury to put some points on the table with that cross kick is really awesome for them, and that will hopefully boost them up to be competitive in the first half.
Manukau kicking off, Canterbury receiving the ball, an opportunity to attack again. What has that 4-pointer done for this Canterbury side? Let's see if that gives them a little bit more confidence to find some way through this staunch defence from Counties Manukau. The Stingrays are defending exceptionally well, but they've already been exposed once. Just one off play at the moment. The captain, Sui Pawaresa, deciding to distribute a lot of ball. Didn't like that tackle, thought it was a bit high. The hands went up from the players. And our referee, David Miller, agreed with the players. Take a short time out at the moment to see if there's any real danger. We'll bring out the magic water. Chance to have another at this to see how high it was. To have a little clip above the shoulders, on the chin. Looks to be Bobby Lee Hillsop, the dairy farmer. She's driving big trucks, and rugby league is her favourite sport. I'll have to take a wee spell, which is a shame to see her leave the pitch. Nothing malicious in that tackle.
No, hopefully she's okay though.
The Canterbury side have been marred with the coronavirus. Their manager, Deb Kennedy, who's been receiving a lot of phone calls from me all week, and I'm tremendously grateful for her information she's been sharing. She can't be here. The trainer has also fallen ill, so we have Rawari Waka as the trainer. Charging up the left-hand side, Canterbury, looking for another opportunity. Great cover defence from Counties. Good rugby league here this afternoon. One up play at the moment. Try and make a few more yards. The legs are pumping. Great defence from the captain, Kelly Maipi from Counties. Still with the ball in hand is Canterbury. Zoe Berry there, who replaced Hislop. The ball in hand first up. So here come Canterbury. What can they do? Looking to offload. Sophie Anderson was the one who found herself with the ball in her hand. Will they go left or right? The skipper says, let's go left. It worked last time with the kick. Lovely little dummy. Perfect timing. Didn't quite have the run on the ball, but looking good is Canterbury. This makes things interesting if they can get the ball over the line. Defence is up to it at this stage. This is a good tackle from Totiri. Plays the ball. Captain picks it up, looks scrappy over the line, but held up. Was hoping for something a little bit more adventurous from Canterbury then. That will be a turnover, so get out of jail free card there for Counties.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see Sia Tanga create something for her backs, considering the space is there for them.
Yeah, I guess Canterbury also looking for that combination between Teresa McPherson and Sia Tanga. Takes a while for these combinations to gel. Nice yardage there from Counties. Oh, charging through. No one can bring it down. Making herself known out there is Pahu Kani. Very good run. And gets a penalty as well. So she managed to make 40 metres running through the defenders. Let's take another look. A jig, a jog, a step, a push. You don't want to tackle me? That's fine. I'll keep going. Eventually, someone decides to pull her down. I think that was Fleur Barker. So here come Counties. Great stuff. Bringing it out through dummy half, having to pull them down nice and tight. Canterbury's defence just managing to get onside. Counters Manukau on the right-hand side of your screens, looking for support play, keeping the ball alive. Targeting left, dropping off tackles are Canterbury, but they're still there. Kelly Marie Alexander held the ball that time, didn't want to do anything too fancy. They may not need fancy, they just need strength, determination, commitment. I don't think she got the ball down, but we'll leave that to David Miller. He's closer than me, and he said, yes, she did. There we go, Counties Manukau strike back. Impressive stuff. I think what happened was the ball was stolen from her, the ball remained in play, and referee David Miller says it's still alive. If you put your hand on it, Counties, I'll give you the 4 points. Do you reckon, Jules?
Yeah, 100%. But I just wouldn't expect anything less from Nessa. She's just such a strong player, and you give her an inch, she'll take a mile, and look, she put some points on the table.
Yeah, Nessa Biddle, part of that Kiwi Ferns wider squad you're talking about. There's a few in that development squad.
Yeah, there is.
A few players through, aren't they?
There's quite a few. It's good that we're seeing the development of our code coming through and seeing more faces.
Yeah, it is a shame we don't see too many faces here that have decided to go to Australia and represent some of those Australian clubs in the NRLW, but this is an opportunity for some of the breed of rugby league players all over our country to showcase themselves and show us just how good they are with selections coming up at the end of the year.
Exactly. And
apparently there's a test at the end of the year.
Yeah, there is. And the speed at which the game is growing, like we can't afford to take our foot off the pedal with women in league here in New Zealand. So the fact that we're able to perform this weekend and get the ball rolling into our year is always great.
Let's take a look at this 4-pointer one more time. Took advantage of some slow mark defence. I like that from Biddle. She had a chat to the referee and said, just so you know, they took the ball off me. It's still alive. We're going to score the try. So there we have it. Counties Manukau leading 16 points to 4 over Canterbury in this women's NZRL Premiership competition. This is just the first half, 35-minute halves. With the kickoff is Canterbury, receiving the ball is Counties. Nice first up run there from Amber Jessie Kani. Sticking with it down the right edge. That was great defence from Katie Arona from Canterbury. They'll start to look a little bit fatigued soon if they're having to tackle non-stop is Canterbury. And the fans are here and they're charging through. That was great stuff from Carly Takawa. 32 years young and still showing she's very light-footed in the game of rugby league. Keeping the ball alive are Counties. That was a charging tackle from so wasn't it? You don't want to be on the end of that. Went for the cutout pass. I think Canterbury got a hand on it. Looking for an intercept was Siley Powell. Didn't manage to bring the ball in, so that would be a knock-on against Canterbury. She had to go for it. I think if they would have taken the ball in, it would have been nasty stuff for Canterbury. So Counties Manukau remain in possession with the ball. The long blonde hair of that defender there is their captain, Sui Pararosa. What an ambassador she is for rugby league.
She sure is.
Oh, what a tackle from her!
In the game for so long, that such a great leader for the Canterbury region.
Under pressure and under the pump is Canterbury at the moment. Opted for the kick on the right-hand side. Just had a little too much on it. Surprised they didn't take the ball through the hands that time. That breeze certainly picked up at Waitakere. The kicking options are there, looking for mistakes from those receiving it.
I think both sides will be getting rid of the cobwebs so that they can get the feel for the game. It's only been 27 minutes in. I think there's a little bit more crisper footy.
They're just warming up, aren't they, Jules?
Yeah,
it's about
just
now
warming
that you start kicking into action. Nice defence from Counties. Canterbury with the ball. And at marker is Power Racer. Gone down the left-hand side. McColl is creeping in. Counties have dived on the loose ball. They have it within 20 metres. An opportunity here for Counties to attack. That's Amber Cunny, the number 1 jersey for Counties. Took offence to some of that tackle, but the referee said, let's keep things ticking along. Quick play the ball is what they need. Provided there from Matua. For players to come either left or right. Defence is tiring. There'll be an opportunity here. The ball was played into one of the defenders trying to get inside, but the referee said, I'll count that as a knock-on, and possession will go Canterbury. They'll be relieved to get that one.
Yeah, they really need to get out of this area of the field. Line-ups on their Canterbury aren't going to work for them. They need to create something to get some solid metres.
Who'd be a referee nowadays, eh? Everyone's got an opinion. From in commentary, from the players, from beside the pitch. Thank God there's just one whistle blower out there this afternoon. Here we go. Canterbury with the ball. An opportunity here to try and make things a little bit more decent as we approach the halfway mark of this NZRL Women's Premiership. Another 5.5 minutes of play before they get a rest. That there was a great tackle from John Saul. Toe Tardy. Canterbury with the ball. No way up the middle at this stage, but hoping to see whether or not Manukau will tire. Good delivery from the skipper. Runners taking a second look at the defenders. I reckon you'd rate this defence so far. It's been very good.
Yeah, I really do. I really do. I'm really impressed with the defence. It's tiring doing down-ups and then having to attack straight after. Let's see if we can get Siatanga showing her skill set.
Charge down there. Didn't play at the ball, so the referee says Canterbury might keep possession. They'll be forced to defend for the last 4 minutes at this stage, perhaps, of this half. So Counties Manukau leading Canterbury 16-4. Just the first half of this Women's Premiership clash. They get a chance to perhaps push that score a little more forward. They've got the ball in hand. Opting to go to the fringes is Counties. Wasn't sure if it was a pass or a drop ball, but Counties seem to remain with possession. 20 metres out from the Counties line. Counties running from right to left on your screens in the red and white. Canterbury defending in the black shorts. They'll have to take the players down and not second guess. They're going out wide. No need for an extra pass. No need for an extra pass that time when they gave it to Lexi Kirui. She knows her way to the line.
Yeah, just working that right side. They just pop past right through and then over the line. It's good to see that John Sautotare is working the right side well.
Yeah, impressive stuff from Counties. Very impressive stuff. Making the most of some tiring defence, and they come in together as a team. Spoke to Greg Selwyn yesterday afternoon, the coach of Counties, and he said there was lots that his side had been focusing on in preparation for this clash. First and foremost, it was completing the sets, which they seem to be doing pretty good today, and also applying loads of pressure by drawing a line in the sand with some impressive defence. So they've done their hard yards defensively, and now Kerahitina Matua gets an opportunity to add another 2 points for Counties, with a very difficult kick from the sideline. Let me remind you, the breeze here at Waitakere is picked up from a breeze and a gust, quite a strong wind, 30 kilometres an hour. This is a tricky kick in the best of times because the wind will tell you we can hardly even keep the ball on the kicking tee. Quite a musician is Matua, loves music outside of fishing and diving. A nice deep breath.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like those sideline kicks. They are so difficult to get over. She got the distance. Just short.
Looked
of the
good.
post.
Not a bad kick at all. Not a bad kick at all, but certainly just lacked a bit of power. Good to see the fans here. Fans are open. Come on in. Come and support Women's Rugby League in Aotearoa. Let's take a look at this try one more time.
You got Tikawa passing it out and Lexi to finish it over the line. That's such a beautiful try, nice and clean.
Another option to go one more if she wanted to, but she thought, no, I think I'll score this one. Didn't want to give it to her cousin, Jessie Carney, I don't think either. Great to see the fans here. It's been a long time coming with these cancellations and disruption. This is a great tournament for Women's Rugby League in New Zealand. Everyone trying to impress those selectors for a test, hopefully, which will be in October this year. Counties leading Canterbury 20-4. Just 30 seconds of play left. Chance for them to score some more points.
Well, it looks like Canterbury is going to be on under the pump to get some points on the table. But, you know, it's evident, you know, with Canterbury, they've lost the likes of Shante Poko, who really created leadership on the field in the halves, and also not only that, but the shape and the opportunities. So I'm hoping that at halftime, the girls can come back.
Halftime in this Women's Premiership clash. Counties Manukau leading Canterbury 20-4. What a clash it is. Stay with us after the break. Plenty more rugby league action heading your way here on Sky Sport.
Hoping that we live long enough to say we fly, crushing all the walls, leaving what is wrong behind. 'Cause all we got is each other.
The road to Qatar is on Sky Sports 7 beIN Sports.
Tomorrow's champions are inspired by today's, but they can only be what they can see. That's why Sky brings you more strength, more skill, more speed, more courage.
Oh my goodness.
And not just on the pitch, you'll see it behind the scenes, in front of the camera, and all over the game plan.
This is what we've been waiting for.
See the rise. See the potential. See history being made. See the possible.
It's time to go. Let's go. This is incredible. Get me out of mind. This is incredible. It's the power of Pacific. DHL Super Rugby Pacific. Today live on Sky Sport.
Step inside the animal kingdom and get lost in the wonder of their natural world. From Earth to the skies to the depths of the sea. Explore the lives of 6 incredible creatures in a special series of documentaries. The Natural World Collection, Wednesdays 8:30 on BBC Earth.
Show them.
On show here at Tamaki Makoto at the Waitakere Trust Stadium. It is the Counties Manukau Stingrays leading Canterbury 20-4 in the NZRL Sky Sport Women's Premiership. What can Canterbury do, Jules, to get back in this match? Because they were outclassed for about a 6-minute period of that second half, which could come back to haunt them in the match.
Yeah, as we could see that they're really dominant in the forward runs. I think that if we could spread the ball across the field and see what the backs can actually do. I know that the halves have been put in there for a reason, so we need to see some ball playing ability from the backs, and let's see our outsides open up.
Well, it started off with a mistake from Canterbury, which was tricky, but it gave possession nice and early to Counties. They managed to score a first up try, then second came through Amber Jessie Cunny. She has been outstanding so far this. I love how hungry she is for the ball and how aggressive she is with the ball in hand. Canterbury managed to kick back with an impressive kick out wide, challenging stuff from the kickers, but it was glorified by Gloria Sewer, the number 3 from Canterbury. That's when they decided to kick things into action off a mistake, and the referee said, let's play on, you've still got possession. Counties Manukau racing ahead midway through that first half and then making the most of possession and not many mistakes. I like how they're attacking the right edge is Counties. They're always looking to make the most of a falling off them. Nice, clean, quick hands and plenty of other opportunities there for Counties. So far in this first half, it is Counties Manukau leading Canterbury 20-4. There's plenty more action, lots to happen here at Waitakere after the break. Stay with us. It's all heading your way here on Sky Sport.
It's time to go. Let's go.
Every block, we cannot ever be stopped. Put that on everything. You gon' remember the name, remember the day.
Oh, this is unbelievable! They're gonna win!
Hey, boy, this is incredible.
Louder, later, Bo.
Oh, what teams here, what teams?
12 teams, 1 champion. It's the power of the Pacific. DHL Super Rugby Pacific. Today live on Sky Sport. Coverage brought to you by Bunnings Warehouse.
An England side on the rebuild.
Brilliant!
Face the mercurial Windies.
Magnificent shot.
In 3 tests. England Tour of the West Indies. Live, Sky Sport.
Get ready for more on Disney Plus.
We'd like it if you joined us.
More Star Wars.
This is the way.
More Nat Geo.
Wow!
More Marvel.
This is absurd.
More Star.
Did I write that?
That is John Wayne.
I'm confused.
More Disney.
You're very unpleasant.
Okay.
All this. Plus more. There's always more to explore on Disney Plus.
I'm here to make a proposal that's mutually beneficial.
Join Sky Broadband and get 12 months of Disney Plus on us. That's 12 months of this.
It's time to show them who I really am.
12 months of this.
You're a Hawkeye.
And maybe even 12 months of...
You're just as special as anyone else in this family.
That. So what are you waiting for? Go to skybroadband.co.nz and switch to Sky Broadband now.
The best there's ever been.
This is as good as it gets.
The brightest stars of all.
I'm always gonna love you.
I'm always gonna love you too.
Oscar winners. Watch now on Sky Movies Collection.
Watch the Hungry Jacks NBL take it to the next level.
The NZRL Sky Sport Women's Premiership has kick-started this afternoon at the Trust Stadium in the Waitakere in Auckland. We've started with a clash between Manukau and Canterbury, and at this stage it is the Stingrays, the county's team, leading the visiting Canterbury side 22-4. Some interesting rugby league we've had in the first 35 minutes of this clash, but we do anticipate Canterbury fighting back as best as they can. They have had a few disruptions when it comes to players being selected and also training disruptions, but we know that Canterbury have a very spirited heart when it comes to rugby league, and we'll be looking, Jules Newman, to some of their key playmakers to start to get involved in this clash.
Yeah, McPherson and Siatanga really need to start utilising the ball a lot more, because as we can see, dominant in just allowing the forwards to take the ball up. But it's not going to necessarily get them over for the next 35 minutes. So we need to create some shape. We need to see their centres, their wingers, their fullback start coming in and doing some work.
Okay, so the second half of this clash is underway. I am Lavina Good. Joining me is Jules Newman in commentary here. And at the moment, Canterbury get a chance to strike first early in this second half. No surprise, it is their captain, Sui Paresa, who's decided to take the tap and organise things. She's such an orchestrator, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. I like seeing her in action. She's a heavy hitter, she's a strong runner, and just a really good leader.
That's the percentage football Greg Selwyn, who's the coach of Manukau, was talking about. He likes to wait for the opposition to make the mistakes. He said to his players before this game, if you just take the tackles, an error will come, and it was early in half that Canterbury managed to drop that down. So possession will go with Counties Manukau. Counties in the red and white and the red shorts. Canterbury in the black shorts, running on your screens from right to left. Have a substitution there. It's good to see McPherson, Teresa McPherson, the number 6 for Canterbury, coming out. She's 38 years young and will be looking to make an impression. A few other changes there with Murray Few as well. So they're ringing in the changes, both coaches looking for a spark of sorts. Who can provide the spark for Counties? They have possession.
I'm really enjoying the Counties hooker. She's always not far from the ruck. She's in play the balls, and she's taking the opportunities, as we saw in the first half, to really take that go-forward ball.
Also looking to expose the opposition defensively is Counties and their playmaker. Looking for a few gaps in defence. Went for the dummy and then decided to go for the high ball kick. As we know, the kick is as good as the chase. The chase is good. The error was there, and I think Counties will get the ball back. Not a bad option there from Counties.
Yeah, not a bad option. Just unfortunately, it might have been the sun or a bit of pressure under the ball, but they couldn't quite pull it off.
The kick and chase game in women's rugby league has improved so much, like so many aspects of rugby league in New Zealand. More women are playing rugby league in the country, in fact, since 2016, according to statistics provided to us from New Zealand Rugby League. There's been a third increase of women playing the sport. This tournament will be played over the next month, and players are looking for selection on their national side. They decide to go early and wide, does Counties, charging the ball back in. It's Cunny, she'll play the ball. Took offence to the tackle. Kelly Marie Alexander. Nice defence from Canterbury there. Ball and all tackles. They can't afford to tire at this stage. A patient game from Counties. Good rugby league all round. What can Counties do with the ball? Just a metre shy of the line. It's one out play. Shut down nicely by the Canterbury side. Deciding to go wide now on the fourth tackle. A step, a jig, a missed tackle. Nice little acceptance of play. Sleight of hand, no twist there from the Kiwi girls. So let's see what they do when they head left as Manukau. Keeping the ball alive. A nice little deft left foot kick. Little bit too much on it and they don't get possession back. A grubber kick would have been lovely if they could have held possession, but hindsight's great. Foresight also fabulous in the game of rugby league. Canterbury get an opportunity here to gain early possession in this second half and see if they can get the ball to the other end of the field. Jules Newman, what they struggled with in the first half was attacking in their own play, and they need to get it up there as soon as possible.
Yeah, just the one up hit-ups is just not going to do it for them, and it tires out their forward pack really quickly. We need to be able to see their back line really showcase what they're capable of, and they're only going to do that if they can create some shape.
It's the backs at the moment doing all the hard yards for Canterbury. It was Wedahiko initially, and then Day Napa was taking the ball up. Now they decide to target things up the middle, making as many yards as they possibly can to try and put themselves in with an opportunity to fight back in this match. Looking much better is Canterbury in the early stages of this second half. Captain fantastic, Paoraisa, with the distribution of the ball. Siatanga puts the ball up nice and high, hoping to get it back. Not much attacking flair on the kick that time.
Yeah, and even on the urgency on the kick chase, Canterbury, they've got some really fast edges, and they can capitalise on the kick that just happened if they had a lot more push on that run.
So the kick too big from Canterbury that time. Compliments of Cassie Siatanga. She has a great softball, was selected at 18 years of age and scored a scholarship opportunity as well. There's a couple of them in the team. Here come Counties. Great tackle from Zoe Berry. She's certainly defensively made a massive difference to this side since she managed to come in off the bench. Counties opting to attack to the left. Nice charge up the middle. Defence answers it from Canterbury. Nice little dummy. Tuck. Beautiful ball. Great support play from Counties. Keeping the ball alive. Now going wide. Where's the defenders? They're coming across. Decided to throw the dummy, did Kelly Marie Alexander. Great play from Counties. The fans are loving it. Decide to go right. Looking for an opportunity to sneak her way through the defenders. And the referee said, I didn't like the tackle.
It's really good to see that Counties is keeping the ball alive. And as I spoke about earlier, the support running is really good, and it's creating options for Counties.
Been training since before Christmas as Counties Manukau. Hard to stop a player that strong, that talented, that experienced, and that determined. How good was that from Kerehitina Matua? That's her second try for the day. She scored the opening try in the first half and then managed to do it in the opening of the second half. You'd expect nothing less from her, Jules.
Yeah, she's such a powerful player, and look, she just gets that pop off from Totare and just straight, easy try over the line.
What a strong run prop. You mentioned before that she spent her time in the centres. She's decided
I definitely had to mark her a fair few times, and can tell you this now, it's like being hit by a brick wall.
I could only imagine how difficult it is playing the game. Hat goes off to you and every other representative out there. How good is this competition for women's rugby league in New Zealand?
Oh, it's really good. You know, we've had some hard times and so much uncertainty around when we can play and how long we can play for, and it really does, as athletes, it plays mind games with, you know, how we can train, our access to things, and just because a lot of us find a lot of enjoyment in the sport, when we look at what we're seeing now, it's just a whole lot of excitement, the fact that we can have some rugby league this year.
Yeah, it's been a COVID-riddled couple of years for the calendar, but these players are pumped with excitement. And so too are all women's rugby league fans across New Zealand for this competition to be going ahead with the calibre of players we get to witness here this afternoon in Auckland. Hoping to add 2 more points is Matua. I think she prefers it right in front of the post, not so much out wide, which makes sense. I get the feeling every time she scores a try, she's allowed to kick it. You reckon? I do.
I don't know. She's always been one of their goal kickers, and she's got a good boot on her.
Kānes Manukau dominating proceedings at this stage over the visiting Canterbury side, 26-4. You're watching the NZRL Sky Sport Women's Premiership. Missed out on the action last year, but certainly things are well and truly underway with this month-long competition. It will culminate with a final Easter Saturday. The two dominant teams will head to Mount Smart Stadium, hopefully in front of thousands of fans. Let's get this next stage of proceedings underway. The kick, too big, too strong, and possession will go with Canterbury. Yeah, just the 4 teams in the competition over the next month.
Yeah, just the 4 teams, and it's really good to see that, you know, they were able to form 4 teams given the pandemic. It's been disruptive for Canterbury. We mentioned the team manager unable to attend because of so too the trainer. Disruptions everywhere. It looks as though Gloria Marifiu is in here at number 17, the 26-year-old. I remember her dad, Junior. Oh,
That's how
really?
old I am, mate. And no, we're not that old. He was a great rugby league footballer, and she's following in her dad's footsteps. Great pedigree, and good to see her out here for the Stingrays. Right, Canterbury with possession at the moment. Looking to find their way through a great tackle from Kānes Manukau, but the ball was kept in play. Under the pump now is Counties. They need to get offside and defend as quickly as possible. Great opportunity for Canterbury here to cross the line and put some pressure on this dominant Counties side. Beautiful tackle, Matua.
But again, it comes down to that support play that happened. Siatanga was just able to catch that ball, and we could see that she was able to offload it into some space.
What can Pawa Raisa do here? She got the ball nice and quick. They needed to keep the ball in hand and distribute it to the winger as quickly as possible. An error slowed things down, and the referee said, in fact, that was a knock-on. Good foresight there, but not the best execution from Canterbury.
The opportunity, yeah, just unfortunately the hands weren't. But, you know, next time.
In possession is Kānes Manukau leading 26-4 over Canterbury. That's just the first tackle. They want to make their way out of this dead zone as quickly as they possibly can, and they're opting to do it up middle. The direct play in the middle of the pitch has been very impressive from Counties in this match, something they'd been focusing on.
But how good has Pahukani been today? She's honestly just making so many metres up the middle as well. So very impressed with her today.
Oh, here we go. Mata was saying, I'm not going to let anyone else get some glory at the moment. Takes 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders to bring her down. She'll have to get up and play it very quickly indeed. Speaking of Pahukani, they might head her way and see if they can cross her over again. They decide to go left. The cutout pass an option. Alexander picks it up. She's got too much pace. Beautiful hands from the Howick Hornet 28-year-old, and decides to take it a little bit closer under the sticks.
Yeah, but look what happens when you just pass it out to the edges with some clean balls. Just that skip pass, and then away we go over the line. Well done, Counties.
And it was set up lovely there from Karahitina Matua. She made all that hard work, drawing all those defenders in up the middle. And then it was a case of providing the backs with some time to shine. A very nice cutout pass here. Opting to go straight to Alexander, who was hanging out on that wing thinking, I want to score a 4-pointer for Counties. Impressive rugby league.
It looks like Counties have got rid of their cobwebs.
Well, it's been very difficult for these competitors trying to find the time to train, let alone play. I mean, early stages in this competition, it's about peak fitness and match, which have a lot of. It's frustrating, as you know, Jules.
Yeah, it's really frustrating, and the bubbles and the restrictions and making sure that we're all taking care of our health and our whānau at the same time, and making sure that we're looking out for others. It's a lot of pressure, and then to come on the main stage right now and to try and perform a 70-minute game, it's not easy.
It's a great replay of the early stages of this try. Take a look at the number 19, Keri Matua. She says, I'll sneak it on the inside. Picked it up lovely with the right hand, and then all of a sudden drew about half the team in that decided to focus on her in case she went all the way. Nice option from Counties to point to go right, but instead they decided to attack down their attacking left edge, and the right-handed defensive edge of Canterbury were under the pump and just couldn't compensate. Canterbury kicking off. Counties Manukau leading 30-4 in this Sky Sports Premiership, and the fans, they're alive and kicking.
Yeah, it's really good to finally see some people in the stands, and it was nice to actually have a solid run from Futu Moala. She's such a strong player.
Yeah, she debuted for the Kiwi Ferns in 2014. I remember her scoring a winning try off the bench, actually. She likes to score a try. She's a very impressive player, and she makes an impact when she's out there.
Yeah, she does. And she's, if you actually sit down and talk with her, she's such a lovely person, really friendly. And, you know, when I came into the Kiwi Ferns side, she was one of those players that made me feel really welcome.
That's what we like to hear. Get a chance to still play the ball. No need for that. The referee said got a bit untidy and it got a little bit messy, and now Counties Manukau get an opportunity to have the 6 tackles in hand. Don't think they'll go for the kick on this one. Quick tap. Here they go. Alexander, the last try scorer. A representative Counties touch player, and also loves her netball. Wasn't the tidiest play the ball, but got away with it. Nice charge under the posts. Counties are dominating proceedings, and I think this time it was Michaela Eli, who comes from a rugby background.
Yeah, she does, and she's also represented Manu Sina and Whetu Samoa last year. She's a developing player coming through the ranks, and it's really good to see her out here today and putting some points.
Just 20 years of age. Incredible stuff from the number 15. Beautiful support play and very aggressive running to head in under the sticks. Felt a bit sorry for Canterbury, but they're just far too strong and far too dominant. How many Manurewa players are in this Stingrays lineup? And this isn't a trick question. I'm just looking at the lineup at the moment, Jules, and I'm thinking they're absolutely dominating this County Manukau Stingray outfit. I think there must be 10 or 11 players.
Yeah, there is. But in saying that, when we look at the pool of clubs that are for women's rugby league, there aren't that many. So you've got the likes of Rewa, and then you've got Pakuranga, then there's a couple more, but unfortunately they haven't been able to really had that many options for selection. But I'm just glad that they've been able to put up a performance today.
Yeah, slick stuff from Counties Manukau in this Sky Sport Women's Premiership. Get an opportunity to see this try one more time. Beautiful one-out running from Michaela Eli. Dabbled with a bit of rugby in the past and has decided to do that cross-code thing. Lots of people do it.
Yeah, it seems to be quite a prominent thing. I'm one of them.
I think you're about 30, weren't you, Jules, when you crossed from rugby to rugby league?
Yeah, a bloomer.
Couple of months ago, was it?
Rather late than never, though. I'm still like 20, though.
We feel very privileged to have Jules Newman in commentary with us, a current Kiwi Fern and former Warrior in the NRLW. Hopefully to see another Warrior there again at some stage, but that is for a whole new production when we've got more time to talk about it. This wind at Waitakere has really been bothering the kickers, especially from the kickoff. That's a mistake that Canterbury can't afford to make at this stage of the competition.
Yeah, and you would think that given with the wind they'd make it work in terms of just keeping the ball a little bit lower to the ground. You don't need to boot it so high.
Bringing in the changes is Greg Selwyn. He's decided to bring in Helena Finau. She'll get an opportunity to experience the Women's Premiership. You'd want to give as many players an opportunity to get the nerves out the way at the early stages of this competition. All the hard work undone. The referee will call a scrum and the feed will go to Counties Manukau. Very disappointed with herself was Micah Newman out there. She's an apprentice plasterer. I spoke to the coach of Canterbury, Te Iwinaro Wairo, and he said she has the best attitude at training amongst all of them. So she'll be upset with that mistake, but you put it behind you in the early stages of the competition. Here come Counties attacking to the right. Great defence from Canterbury. That was great stuff from Michaela Werahiko, the number 2 from Canterbury. She had to make the tackle. If not, things were looking mighty fine for Counties.
Yeah, just even looking at Abigail Roach, she's such a talented player, and you give her an inch and she'll take a mile, and it's just unfortunate that Malvina Wellert couldn't quite utilise the space that she had, but great defence from Canterbury today.
Abigail Roach might have to try and inject herself in the game a little bit more on attack if Canterbury want to claw their way back into this match. She spent some time in Japan with the Sevens. Very light-footed, has background studying at Auckland University. She can be a really decent playmaker, but needs the confidence to take control.
Yeah, and that's another thing. We've got a lot of touch players playing for Counties today. It would be interesting to see how Greg incorporates their touch skill set and their natural ability, that they have the confidence to create something.
Here come Canterbury down the right edge, trying to keep the ball alive and not make a mistake, but a knock on there. I think it might have been Gloria Sewell. The ball went down and the referee said we will have a scrum on the 20-metre mark. So Counties leading the way, 36. Every point counts in this competition as each team play against each other once in the round robin, and the top 2 teams will play in the final. If we have draws, then it will be points for and against. Attacking the right edge again is Counties. Will make some room up the middle, but not afraid to keep the ball alive. The ball went to ground. The referee said, was it pulled out? Not happy with the tackle. Calls in a scrum. So we can take another look at this one. All eyes on the ball. Roach tried to steal it. A little sneaky play. No, I think it was...
It looked like it was ripped up, but she owned up to it.
Yeah. Siatanga, the number 7 from Canterbury, decided to get the ball, hand on the ball, and see if no one saw it. She's not relying on a bunker this afternoon. What can Canterbury do? Beautiful charge right up the middle. That is how you get your way back into a match. Beautiful distribution and delivery from the skipper. Then it was all left up to Siatanga to find her way to the line, and she knows her way to the line. What a big, strong, storming run from the half.
Yeah, just looking at that drop ball right here, straight through to Siatanga, and she just takes it over the line like it was so easy. Great opportunity for Canterbury, and it will be good for the energy that they need for the second half.
Great to see Siatanga getting heavily involved in this match. She's a great multi-sport athlete. Represented Fetu Samoa Rugby League, but also represents New Zealand in softball with the White Sox. There's a couple of them, in fact, with the Canterbury side. Very strong softball territory in Canterbury. Great run from Cassie Siatanga, and gets an opportunity now to convert her own try.
Yeah, Siatanga's been really good. It's a lot of pressure when we that we put on our halves to really direct our squad, or the squads around the paddock. But in saying that, she's still quite a young player. She's got a lot of developing to go, but right now she's proving really well.
She was hungry for the ball, and she also managed to put another 2 points up for Canterbury. You are the NZRL Sky Sport Women's Premiership. Counties Manukau leading Canterbury at this stage. Get to see another look at this try. Barnstorming run straight under the posts. She knew exactly what she wanted to do. She had the job at hand and she fulfilled it. Entertaining stuff from young Cassie Siatanga, the number 7 from Canterbury. This Canterbury side flew in this morning to Auckland. There'll be no time for celebration or commiseration. They fly back to Canterbury tonight.
Yeah, that's pretty rough, isn't it? You know, it also takes, as an athlete, it takes a lot of energy out of you in travel.
Decent kick from Counties, receiving the ball in the black shorts is Canterbury. Nice defensive line from Counties Manukau. Their defence throughout the whole match has been exceptionally impressive. Not just the one-out tackling, but the defensive mechanisms of the side moving forward together as a team. Plus the communication with Counties has been very impressive indeed. They came here with a mission in this Women's Premiership. That was to play good rugby league, to win the game and breed some of their new players, and they have plenty of those. 6 debutantes for Counties among them. Amber Jessie Kane, Lexi Kirui, I think Kelly Marie Alexander is a debutante, and Malvina Wellert. They seem to be all over the pitch.
Yeah, it's good to see a good balance with Counties between the experience and introducing the new talent coming through. Even though they've lost a few core players, they're actually doing really well to bridge the gap there.
Counties with the ball. Asking questions all the time is Amber Jessie Kane, the Kiwi Fern superstar.
Yeah, she's definitely a player that's always on the hunt.
She's hungry. She played the ball and now she wants it back. They won't go to the right though, Counties. They'll attack to the left.
There's a big gap there on the left side. It's a pity they weren't able to capitalise on that.
Still an option for Counties to make the most of the defence tiring here from Canterbury. What can they do out wide? Cut out pass. Defenders are there trying to get the ball down over the line, but Canterbury are up to the task. Still with the ball in hand is Counties.
Still strong defence from Canterbury though. Let's see if they can hold them out. And look at that, we got a turnover.
Captain fantastic, always there on the spot is Sui Pawaresa.
Is there anything she can't do?
She's a remarkable advocate for those watching Women's Rugby League for maybe the first time here in New Zealand. We can tell you that she is a fabulous player with a history of leadership and control and so much mana in the game. So I went through the kick, and then it was the number 17, Sui Pawaresa, who was the difference between the plays. Made the yards that time, Canterbury, utilising that very strong wind coming from behind them. Looking for 2 tries in a row, Canterbury. Up to the task, crunching tackle from Counties Manukau. I think that might have been Nessa Biddle. The defence has been very strong indeed, but Kelly Maipi, the captain, no wonder she's the captain. She knows how to make a difference when she makes a tackle. That looked painful. What sort of inspiration is that when you've got your captain making tackles like that?
Yeah, it is. It definitely gives you that extra 10% energy to sort of keep putting your body on the line. We can see that Siatanga is really having to work as a half. It might be nice to see Maui or Selepour come in and just take some leadership with some of these ball carries.
What can Canterbury do? They have the ball in hand, looking to score 2 tries in a row. Turn the tables on this fancied Counties Manukau outfit. Counties, the Stingrays, up to the challenge so far in defence, marking the line exceptionally well. Canterbury decide to go right. Big pass, cut out, keeping it alive on the right-hand side. There's a gap. The tackles are falling off. She went for the line. I think the ball went down over it. David Miller's the man of the moment. He says no try, lost ball. Worth an option, though, from Canterbury.
Yeah, definitely worth an option. But, you know, that cut-out ball was great. Keeping the ball alive here. It's just unfortunate we couldn't quite keep the Counties.
Once again, exceptional defence from Counties Manukau. Crunching defence, desperate defence, like it's the first minute of the game, not like it's the second half.
I really like the fact that Canterbury haven't depleted themselves, and they've kept in the fight in the second half.
Very proud Rugby League Island is the South Island, and Canterbury representing them in the Sky Sport Premiership women's competition. Missed out on it last year, the Premiership side of things, and Canterbury winning the national competition earned their way into this tournament. At the moment, Counties leading 36-10. Counties in possession of the footy. Continuing with their game plan, which is make some yards up the middle and then we'll send it out wide.
Yeah, they'll target the middle for sure to create some gaps in Canterbury's defensive line, and then they'll march out to those edges.
So here comes Counties. Lovely no-look pass. Excellent support play. Where are the defenders? They had to work hard for that.
Yeah, they really did. But at the same time, you know, Counties are known for working hard in the middle so that they can create some space on the outside.
Can they score a 4-pointer here? No problem at all for Counties Manukau. It was a matter of holding, draw the defender and make your way to the line. Impressive stuff set up from some really good rugby league, but Michaela Eli, she's made an impression from the bench.
Yeah, she has. And it's nice to know that, look at the gaps that they created right here. Just that draw and pass, pop it over, step in and over the line.
Yeah, there wasn't much Michaela Werehiko could do at that stage when it's one-on-one so close to the line. She's done a fair share of defence, has the Canterbury winger, to try and shut down some of these opportunities from Counties, but on the end of some great forward running from Manukau, it was Michaela Eli that finished off with the 4-pointer, and she'll get a chance to convert the try as well. Comes from a rugby background of them in terms of cross code. They've seen the light now.
I think it's a blessing that woman that we're able to cross code so that we can have an ability to experience different types of sports at provincial level.
Yeah, Michaela Eli, the number 15 from Counties, was on the end of some lovely play from Manukau. Loving the support play from the Counties Manukau team. They're there for each other. Counties leading Canterbury in the second half of this clash, 40-10. Plenty on show this afternoon and throughout the tournament. An opportunity for these players perhaps to impress some selectors for the Kiwi Ferns test match, hopefully in October. Although that keeps changing. Let's say hopefully, because the rugby league fans want to see it.
Yeah, and then World Cup. World Cup here.
Counties with the ball running on your screen from left to right. Got to hang on. Very good tackle from Mika Newman. Had to be made or things would have got ugly. Spring in their step has County. The support play, amazing. Great rugby league from Counties, keeping it alive, nothing to lose, leading by 40-10. Great left edge attack from Counties. Playing like a team that's been together for quite some time, although there are several differences in this Counties Manukau outfit. Under the pump is Canterbury, having to make tackle after tackle. It's hard work in the game of rugby league. Can't afford to miss them. Here they come, support play on the inside. The posts are there. Who's supporting? Someone take the ball. Looking for the line. Lovely rugby league from Counties. Still with an opportunity of attack. Can Canterbury hold them out? They decide to go right. A dummy, a jig. The line's there. The defence is up.
And they've got the open on the right edge. But no need for it when you can just touch it over the line straight from the ruck.
Looking for a hat-trick, I think, is Michaela Eli. 1, 2, 3. Captain there from Canterbury, Sui Pararesa. The number 17, I'd say, would have topped the tackle count. She has made tackle after tackle. As we take a look at the replay, her shoulders down and out, but she still manages to try and get under the ball. Michaela Eli, just 20 years of age, goes in for her third try here at the Trust Stadium in the Waitakaris in Auckland.
She's converting her own try again. Might have another kicker on the books.
I've been impressed with her from the bench. I really have. Greg Selwyn has kept his players coming and going very nicely indeed for this first up against Canterbury. Canterbury paying the price for not travelling with Bunty Crow. She was going to be one of their first forward attackers, but unfortunately contracted the virus just 12 hours before getting on the flight.
It would be good to see Canterbury, if they can connect on D and stay a little bit tighter so that they can hold off Counties punching through the middle.
It's all about draw and pass at the moment for Counties, trying to not make mistakes and also realising this is the first of a few games in this tournament. But that'll bring proceedings to an end with that hat-trick of tries to Michaela Eli, and Counties Manukau defeating Canterbury 46-10. Will we get a chance to have another kick? I say the more rugby league the better, Jules. Get the kick in, what do you reckon?
Yeah, get the kick in. Let's play some footy.
Cassie Siatanga with the kick. Counties to receive the ball.
She's got a boot on it.
Got a boot on her with 30 kilometres of wind behind her as well. Referee David Miller says, this is cool. We're liking this. On my clock, it's fine. But on the hooter. And there we have it. That is the end of the first game in the Sky Sport Women's Premiership, and Counties Manukau dominating proceedings to defeat Canterbury 46-10. Good play from Counties, impressive stuff. I know the coach will be pleased. What do you think of their performance?
Yeah, Counties, you know, they've always been such a strong squad. I think Kere had a really good game today in the forwards. She was just punching through the middle and just always in that support run. And it was obvious when, you know, she was creating space and being able to nail down some tries. I thought Anessa Biddle had a good game.
Yeah, great stuff from Counties Manukau. Nanta, then their captain, Kelly Maipi.
From your captain.
Yeah, great stuff. It was impressive from them from the outset. They scored early tries, made the most of so many mistakes. Hoping to get a player to come forward, perhaps for a quick quarter and get some reflection on match. But Counties dominating proceedings, and they looked really strong. They also looked really well conditioned, which is something their coach said was going to be a massive factor throughout this. Canterbury disrupted with players pulling out with the coronavirus and also having to travel. They were always going to be under the pump, but like you mentioned earlier, Jules, they'll be very pleased to get this opening clash in this tournament out the way and onwards and upwards, I guess, for both sides.
Yeah, it's always good to get the first dub in the bag when you start out a campaign like this. But in saying that, I'm really, really impressed with the Canterbury side. You know, they don't necessarily have the skills and experience and representative players as Aunties do, but they still manage to compete against top leading squad like Counties.